this because I needed someone to hear me. Not the legend, not the freak, not the king, just me. I don't know when you'll hear this. Maybe tomorrow, maybe 10 years from now, maybe never. But if you're listening, it means the universe decided it was time. And I'm so glad this isn't a performance. No choreography, no script, no mask, just a voice from the other side, from the quiet. I pressed record and I said 3 words. I'm sorry. Not for the things they accused me of. Not for the face I became. Not for the songs I never finished. I'm sorry for not loving myself while I was still here. For spending my whole life trying to become someone when I should have just been. And I want you, yes, you, listening right now, to know this. You don't have to make the same mistake. But to understand why I said those words, you have to walk through the fire with me. Not the fire of the headlines, not the fire of the courtroom. The fire that started in a cold house in Gary with a father who loved me in the only way he knew how to love. I was 5 when I learned that love had a price. And the currency? Perfection. Every morning, before school, before breakfast, before the sun even rose, we'd line up in the living room. Jackie, Tito, Jermaine, Marlon, me. And Dad would stand there, belt in hand, stopwatch in the other. Sing, he'd say. And we'd sing, until our throats burned, until our voices cracked like glass. One wrong note, a flick of the belt, one missed step, a shove into the wall. He called it discipline. I called it survival. And I learned fast. I learned to dance so perfectly, the pain disappeared. I learned to sing so high, the fear couldn't reach me. I learned to smile so wide that no one would ever know the boy underneath was screaming. By the time I was 9, I was a star. The world called me Little Michael. They said I was magic, but magic doesn't cry in the dressing room after every show. Magic doesn't flinch when a hand moves too fast. Magic doesn't wonder every single day, am I still loved if I'm not performing? I wasn't a child. I was a product, polished, packaged, sold. And the worst part? I liked it, because when I sang, when I danced, when the crowd roared, I felt seen. Not as Joseph's son, not as the quiet boy who read poetry under the covers, but as Michael. And for those 3...
You guys remember that Michael Jackson phone call where he's warning the person on the phone that they are getting ready to take his life and make it look like he overdosed on drugs? Thanks to the Epstein files, we know who the they really is.
I don't know if I should tell you this, but I don't know who may be listening. There may be a group of people that want to get rid of me. They don't want me here anymore.
I don't understand. What do you mean? Talk to me.
I can't talk about it over the phone. I don't know what's going to happen, but I just feel in my soul, only God knows, they could shoot me. They could stab me. They could frame me and say I overdosed on drugs. They can do a lot of things.
Who could do these things?
It's not the government. It's more than the government. But I don't know, Tigger. I don't care. They can take me. I don't even care my life anymore. I just want my children to be okay. My angels. I want them to be safe.
Michael.
I gotta go.
He said they are more than just the government. It's bigger than that. The Epstein files have proven that the Illuminati is not just some conspiracy fairy tale. It's real. And he has all of the bloodlines categorized in his files, labeled Illuminati families. Now, when Michael Jackson says it's bigger than just the government, it's because it is. The names in these files indicate politicians, presidents, kings and queens, people in business, people in the entertainment industry, millionaires, billionaires. But who specifically was Michael Jackson referencing? Who was responsible for this? I'm going to let you guys know what I found, and I'm going to go into more depth with my inner circle. If you want to join the conversation, head over to my Patreon, subscribe, and I will see you there. God bless, and may he continue to reveal the truth.
I'm going to ask you this, and it's embarrassing for me to ask you this, but I'm going to ask you anyway. Are you a virgin?
How could you ask me that question?
I just want to know. I want to know.
I'm a gentleman.
You're a gentleman.
I'm a gentleman.
So
I'm a gentleman.
So, okay, I would interpret that to mean that means that you believe that a lady is a lady, and therefore...
That's something that's private. I mean, you know, shouldn't be spoken about openly. You can call me old-fashioned if you want, but, you know, to me that's very personal.
So you're not going to answer it?
I'm embarrassed.
So you're not going to answer it. Well, we would like to know whether or not there is a possibility that you are going to marry one day and have children.
I would feel that my life isn't complete if I do not, because I adore the family life. I adore children, and I adore that whole thing. And I would love to. That's one of my dreams, but I couldn't right now because I'm married. I am married, but to my work. I'm married to my music. And it has to be that closeness in order to do the kind of work that I want to do. And
so what kind of woman makes you, I know in the video, wait a minute, no, in the video we're going to see later, we're premiering the world video, but you say there's a line where you talk about being quenched. So what kind of person does that for you?
Quench my desire.
Yeah, quench my desire.
Yeah. Well, Brooke, I've always liked her. And I mean, when I was little, I used to stay with Diana Ross. Me and my brothers, we stayed with her for years. I never said this, I always had a crush on her.
You did?
Yes.
So Michael Jackson used his life to protect children, yet was misunderstood by the world as a criminal. Neverland, this mysterious place, was not as simple as the outside world thought. Recently, a previously undisclosed truth was revealed. In Neverland, Michael Jackson shielded children from the forces of darkness, keeping them away from the terrifying reality of Epstein's Island. He provided children with a sanctuary, protecting them from harm and abuse, yet was misrepresented by the media and the public as a criminal. He was falsely accused of abuse, while the real abusers remained undisclosed. Macaulay Culkin and other celebrities publicly defended Jackson, proving that he was not only a musical genius, but also a hero who fought for the safety and protection of children. He not only protected children from physical harm, but also helped celebrities like Britney Spears, offering her advice when she faced control from her father, protecting her freedom. Today, as more truths are revealed, we can finally see Michael Jackson for who he truly was, a hero who sacrificed for others.
Beatles? More than that. He owned half of Sony.
Right. Yeah, he did. Yeah.
You know how big Sony is, bro?
I want to know from somebody who knows Mike. Was Mike a gangster?
Well, I wouldn't use
Not
the word
say gangster. I mean, like,
but
because I don't believe Mike. Did he talk soft like that? Because we asked Teddy Riley, right?
No, he don't talk to us.
And Teddy Riley said to
got a regular
us,
voice.
no. Mike like got a regular voice. He
voice.
just kept the high pitchness to keep his register.
Put it this way. Mike knew when to turn it on and turn it off. He understood that this was entertainment. And he also understood the value of, you know, like a brand.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because you got to think he was probably the most powerful man in the music industry. Not just as an artist, but also as a businessman.
As a businessman. On the Beatles catalog.
Yeah.
No, you don't. No, man. Nigga, Beatles.
More than that.
He owned half of Sony.
Right. Yeah, he did. Yeah.
You know how big Sony is, bro?
He did.
And that's just one investment. We're talking one investment, bro. So that fragile agent, I like to call it, that was so he can be non-threatening to those that was threatened by him. You follow what the position?
His position is crazy, right?
Like, he can't be the niggas we are, the rah-rah. He can't be the threat physically and then be threat financially. And then culturally? Nigga, that's grounds for assassination.
Right, I was about to say they're gonna keep behind all that.
They would have took him out sooner.
I'm gonna say it out there straight for everybody listening. My uncle didn't die. He was murdered. I feel the same thing about Prince. We're losing a lot of stars because you have to remember, these are basically insurance policies. When he dies, whatever was owned by the company reverts back. We're not talking about $100,000. We're not talking about $1 million. And everybody in this room knows $1 million, I don't care if you're a normal person, ain't getting you shit. After taxes, you still got to live the same. You still got to stack your money. But when my uncle died, we're talking about billions of dollars. Can you imagine if Prince, when he died, sold little red Corvette to Chevy? Woo. Let's just you think about it.
Yeah.
They say Prince died broke. How do you die broke with $1 billion catalog? If he would have sold 3 songs, he'd have had a couple $100 million sitting in his pocket to play with.
Yeah.
All he had to do is, here, take these 3. I got the catalog of the rest.
Right.
Notice that when my uncle dies, why do you hear all his music? Why is there a Motown cartoon out now? A, B, C,
Right.
easiest. Okay, well, obviously when my uncle was alive, he wasn't giving the rights to anybody. But when he dies, all of a sudden, oh my goodness.
Is the family still benefiting from all of his music and his catalog?
When you say benefiting, I mean, I guess for this last name, because of what my father and them did, that is the benefit. That's the pride of standing for this last name, because, when I grew up, people don't understand. My father and them, they were around.
Yeah.
But then also when we were around, if we wanted to see him, we had to go to a show. So it wasn't like personal. We'd have to sit around in this, oh, hi, Pops, we love you. But then you got people coming and taking pictures and this and that and
right.
this. So when we grew up, it wasn't even groomed. It was, we were told, you can't do this because of what's going to come back. So when you look at it, say, how can I say this, man? My uncle he was born in this business. He died in this business.
His whole entire life.
His whole entire life. So, when I sit here and I hear Wade and this other dude, let's be real. And I'm sitting at the table. Y'all can tell me how y'all feel. And I'm open to opinion. I've had horrible shit happen to me. And any of that horrible stuff, I've got rid of. I'm not going to keep. They showed Wade burning the pictures of Michael.
Yep.
And doing all this stuff. So why does the weirdo keep a ring? And let's be real. Like I said, Neverland was a toy for my uncle. You think my uncle's going to buy some little ring? This is a man who, for us as children, closed down malls.
I ask all of you to wait and hear the truth before you label or condemn me. Don't treat me like a criminal, because I am innocent. It was a nightmare, a horrifying nightmare. But if this is what I have to endure to prove my innocence, my complete innocence, so be it. Throughout my life, I have only tried to help thousands upon thousands of children to live happy lives. It brings tears to my eyes when I see any child who suffers. I am not guilty of these allegations, but if I am guilty of anything, it is of giving all that I have to give to help children all over the world. It is of loving children of all ages and races. It is of gaining sheer joy from seeing children with their innocent and smiling faces. It is of enjoying through them the childhood that I missed myself.
Let me ask you this. Do you recognize the handwriting on these 2 sheets?
Yes.
Do you know whose handwriting it is?
It's mine.
Do you know what these documents are?
Yeah.
What is this?
Crazy stories that people have created. Things I wanted to set straight in an interview.
Do you know with whom this interview was?
I think it could have been Diane Sawyer, whatever the interview was that I wanted to do. I wanted to set the record straight, that if people hear a lie long enough, people believe it, that people have lied on me. I'm a black American and I'm proud of it, and I'm honored of it. The bleached skin rumor, which is a rumor, I don't bleach my skin. They once said I wanted a white kid to play me as a child, which was a rumor. Inauguration rumor, saying I didn't want to do President Clinton's inauguration. I'm not gay. This says, don't judge a person unless you have spoken to them one-on-one. which is true. Because what you hear is a lie, untrue. I can't make out this part there.
It is illegible in portions, that's true.
And Jesus said to love the children and be like children. Be youthful and be innocent and be pure and honorable. He was talking to his apostles, and they were fighting over who's the greatest among themselves. And he said, whoever humbled yourself like this child is the greatest among me. And he always surrounded himself with children. And that's how I was raised, to believe and to be like that and to imitate that. So I don't know what you're trying to make out of it.